We're going to talk about the many, many times Democrats and media look the other way, minimize, excuse, even encourage violence this past summer in just a second. But first, Philip in North Carolina. Philip, you're on the Larry Elder Show. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Hey, Larry. I'm a combat Marine Corps veteran, former intel officer from First Gulf War.
Wow, Semper Fi.
Was at the was at the meeting on Wednesday, and I can tell you, I was there with a bunch of other former or currently, I guess, not active duty Marines. You're always a Marine when you're a Marine.
Absolutely, except for one. But, except for one, you know who that one is.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
There you go. Except for one.
But yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just tell you right now, little kids in strollers, old folks with oxygen tanks, lesbians that I actually came there with some friends. I mean, it was and not a huge African American representation, but there were many. It was a very broad cross section of America, and it was exactly what President Trump said: peaceful and patriotic.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there from 06. We were there from the time they started the open the gate, and had been there all day. President Trump got there late. He was supposed to start at 11, probably start about 11:40, 45 or so. And he spoke. I've listened to everything he's ever said. He spoke extra long. We were actually at that point thinking, it was really time to wrap it up. And then toward the end of the speech, he says, "I understand that some of you are going to march down peacefully and patriotically, stand on the steps of the Capitol, and basically celebrate America in the process." And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
We walked down Constitution. We saw, especially my experience in front of Trump's hotel down there, there were probably 15, maybe 20 police officers shoulder to shoulder. And I was walking there real close to them and told them how glad we were they were there, that we were there, they were keeping us safe. And thank you. About every other one was giving me a bark, hoorah.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were some former Marines in there, and very quiet, very peaceful. Like I said, people in wheelchairs with canes and little children in strollers and all that. When we got there, you could see from a distance that something was already going on and had been. And we'd probably been there about 5 minutes when the CS started popping. And we said, we're unasking the AO at this point. We're getting out of here. I've had that before, and it's no fun. So we withdrew at that point.
Philip, do you have any idea how many people were there? How many people assembled? Any idea?
On the green there at the monument.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't a million, I don't know. It was as far as you could see in every direction. Right. I've never in my life been in anything like that before. It was incredible.
Well, Philip, thank you so much for calling, and thank you so much for your service to our great country. Roger is in Clarksville, Indiana. Roger, you're on the Larry Elder Show. Again, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Larry. Yeah, like Philip there, I'm not a Marine, but I'm an Air Force veteran, and I went there based on principle, and I listened to the speech as well as Philip. And I'll add to what Philip said, too. A lot of Asians, a lot of Vietnamese, a lot of Chinese who say that what they are seeing happen in our country is what was happening in the countries they came from, Vietnam, China. And so it was a pretty scary time for them to see that America's changing like this. But going to the speech, I didn't feel no part of the speech made me feel violent or destructive or wanting to hurt someone, because we're there for principle. Mm-hmm. It's a principle of the election was stolen. We think we believe there's proof of that. We just want you to take another 10 days and please look at the information that we have here, that's been accumulated to see if the election's truly fair or not. And but what's funny about that, Larry, is we was walking down too as well, seeing the cops as well, but supposedly it had already started at the Capitol. Someone had a video saying, "Look, this is happening now." Well, if that was true, then I don't know why the cops were they were still standing on the side of the roads. If this was happening, why weren't they charging towards the White House to help with this? You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, Roger. There'll be an after-action report where all of this will be analyzed. Again, Roger, thank you so much for your service to our wonderful country. Here again is what the president said.
We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated, lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country.
Jim Acosta, once again, exposing why we refer to the media as fake news, called the president's speech incitement to insurrection. End of quote. And he's going to be impeached a second time, apparently. I'm Larry Elder.